Pisces. Boom bam. Hello everyone, Ethel. And welcome back to another discussion. Tonight, the next guest is Leoric.
Hello. Hello, it's nice to be here.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Right, good evening. My name is Leoric Bloom, and I'm the Crown Prince of Lislora. I'm a tabletop games, basically not just RPG though, mainly RPG, tabletop games VTuber, and also history VTuber. So yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So tonight, we have topic of the influence of old RPGs to modern game design. So there. Yes. What is your opinion about this?
Well, first of all, I want to point out what's the artifact of the old tabletop design on newer RPGs. First of all, it's of course initiative and turn order. Like how you determine turn order is basically based on your agility stats or dexterity stats, and that's basically the older role-playing games. It's just like how they would just want to digitalize the paper rules on the older tabletop setting, right? You get the dungeon crawling and stuff like that, and they want to instill that kind of wanderlust. I think that's the word. So yeah.
So basically, you're saying that the modern game design. Well, I guess you're talking specifically about RPG.
RPG for now, yeah.
Oh my god, wait, hold on, there's a loud fire clouds. Okay.
I'm really sorry, yeah.
So yeah. What was it again? That weird vehicle made me forget what I was about to say. Oh yeah, the basically the modern one is like digitalizing on these pen and paper RPG.
Yes, by doing the it's back when we talk about turn-based stuff, right? Because that's correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. I'm just talking out of my ass here. Not completely out of my ass, but yeah, I'm not like professional in this, so just tell me if I'm wrong. That's why they come up with turn-based combat, right? Because
for video games?
For video games, yes. Because they're so used to it in the tabletop and role-playing stuff, and they can apply it to video games. And
Well, yeah, I don't really know, but yeah, that makes sense. So like, they already have this turn-based mechanic right from the tabletop RPGs, and so when they are making video games, the digital video games, they just use the already the concept that they already have. So they don't have to think up much. Well, but then I guess back then they wait, verb? Oh my god, I'm speaking in the verb. So yeah, I guess back then they also thought like, hey, turn-based is good and all, but what about we make some action to it? And now we have action stuff. Delvin, halo. Kesini ada.
Oh, Delvin.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Delvin. Yeah, I'm all over. I got like another collab after this, so yeah, you might see my face everywhere, especially tonight.
Sinimas masalah, we're speaking from heaven, Jata. Okay, so we have turn-based, right? But do you think that these old RPGs, the tabletop ones, were they drawing inspiration from another system as well? Or were they the
They're
original?
they're so oh my god, I'm so gonna nerd out about this. I'm really sorry. Just stop me whenever.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So basically, the first role-playing RPG basically derives their source from wargaming, and wargaming has been here for centuries. Like basically how you simulate a war, how the soldiers moves with one another, how you integrate cannon shots into like diameters and like centimeters and stuff. So basically it's like what's it called? It's a war game basically, like 40k now, or Warhammer Fantasies. But more historical back then, obviously. But then some of the guys really enjoys the smaller warfare where you only control one soldier and then or one ranger or one barbarian, and then you take that rules and apply it into smaller combat, and then it felt way more personal that way, and they like it, and they kind of craft a story around why they're fighting and stuff. And that's how it got started. That's how Dungeons and Dragons started. So yes, they're taking some cue from wargaming, basically. The older RPGs.
And the turn-based, of course, also from the wargaming.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. I don't know where the wargaming got their stuff on though. So basically, probably it's on chess as well. Chess is an old game, right? And they're taking turns. So taking turns has been like it's been here for centuries or millennia maybe.
Imagine if we do chess but action based.
Oh
so
my god.
We don't take turns, we just action based. Let's go.
Oh my god, action based chess. Oh god, that sounds horrible.
Hey cat,
That sounds horrible already. Meow. Oh my god, this.
The cat was calling for help.
Oh.
It's been held captive.
Oh.
Okay, so we suspect that it all comes from chess, and then the war game took it, and then the D&D took the I guess they revamped the turn-based into like what is called with stats and stuff.
Stats and stuff, yes.
Despite the whitest person go first.
Yes. Excuse me. But now that I think about it, now that we talk about this, I suspect that wargaming, like chess is a war game, right? It's a simplified war game, and shogi, like Japanese chess, is also a war game. So I guess it's starting from war simulator, like they're training how to command and war.
So
hello, Gileon.
Hello, Gileon. Hello, Toyota. Welcome. So basically, you're saying that if we trace it all the way back, the fact that we have video games right how we do today is thanks to wars. Nani?
Yes.
What? And they say wars
surprisingly.
Man. It's a bad thing, but also it brings good things in the same time.
Well, going into a bit of a tangent here with war, I think war is just like a part of our growth as a species. So it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it's just part of it. I guess that's the way I see it.
Raffi, halo. Ketemu Leoric belum Kak? Ethel kenal dia. Kenal. Ayo, kenal.
Kita baru ketemu 5 menit yang lalu.
Yes. Behold our socializing skill. We can already talk to each other even though we just say a word 5 minutes ago. I bet you none of you can do it. Huh?
Enggak, sama Raffi, gue kebelet soalnya sama Raffi tadi. Jadi harusnya 15 menit sebelumnya, kita baru 5 menit sebelumnya karena gue kebelet. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about again. Oh yeah, war.
War, yeah.
From what I see, war is basically just like motivation for us human to, you know,
To grow,
actually make something, because like we can make, for example, like computer without there having a war, of course, but we just didn't have the motivation to advance the technology. But now that people are dying, now you want to make things, huh? Okay.
But thankfully, culturally, we're past that a little bit.
Yeah, a
little bit, not much. We're still, but yeah.
Okay,
we're
so
past the need for war for yeah. But anyway, let's get back to games.
Okay, so we talk about the turn-based. What other aspects do you think the old game affects current game design?
Obviously, the feel of it, the wonder of like old tabletop RPG. It's the exploration, right? You explore the world that is unknown, that's mystical, and that's inspired by the Tolkien, of course. And then the tabletop are the Dungeons and Dragons, like put it into paper. They give you a system that's to explore the world, the Greyhawk world, right? The original setting. And then, of course, that sense of wonder and the need for exploration, the need for exploration and fantasy world is still here today, like Skyrim and Elden Ring. That's basically it, right?
People actually liking exploring in Elden Ring, Breath of the Wild, you know.
Exactly. And if you think about it, like fantasy genre is always more appealing as open world, right? Instead of, you know, science, sci-fi or modern. As in Watch Dogs, it's always more appealing.
I would say that depends on, you know, personal preferences.
Oh, personal preference, exactly.
Yeah.
But the numbers.
Unless you do have the number, like a circle or something.
Yeah, the number. Well, let's just get the closest one, like the biggest, hottest thing right now, Elden Ring.
Compare it to
anything else, basically. It's like it's like the biggest non-sport, non-Call of Duty thing around.
Non-sci-fi, basically. It's basically just fantasy. Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's go.
So there are the influences. What do you think the things that the old RPG don't have, but we do have now? Well,
obviously, the ability without needing someone to DM, without the needing of narrator, and we can do it solo. But there's also, and of course the combat system and the reflex. You can actually use your reflex and your muscle memory to do stuff. But also, whenever I play that kind of video games, I kind of feel like, oh, if it's Dungeons and Dragons, for example, because that's my main game, right? Let's just use it as my main example. Of course, you can do it in any other RPG as well. But if I'm playing D&D, I can talk to this guy and I can lie to him, and then I can use my magic to manipulate his mind, so he'll believe me, and then I can do this, and then I can talk to his families. So basically, it's like more freedom in a way. It's only limited by your imagination, while in game you still held back by the game system, basically. So, of course, the convenience is like. The convenience of video game is just way better. Way. I prefer video games anytime. For the convenience alone. But in terms of freedom and feature, I prefer the old tabletop.
Well, because I mean, of course, the when the computer is literally human brain, well, there are a lot of possibilities. Of course, not talking, huh? I mean,
hello,
like, there are a lot. the one thing that the human brain can do that the computer currently cannot do is make the, like as you said, pull things out from their ass as they go.
Yes, exactly.
I also like to argue that you can play D&D solo. You can be your own DM and your player, because I did that.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that, and my character freaking died.
Somehow you managed to kill yourself.
Yeah, so like I was the computer, I was the DM, I was the player, right? But I died.
But yes, also the convenience of it, right? You don't have to like do that.
And also, I guess there's the pretty graphic. You don't have to.
The pretty graphic. You don't have to imagine everything and pay lots of money for art. Oh yeah.
Because I mean, as much as you can imagine things as pretty as you want in your mind, it's always nice to have something that you can actually look at.
Exactly.
Physically look at. Okay. Now, what? So we talked just now about what the modern game have that the old RPG doesn't. But what about what things that the old RPG has, but the new one doesn't?
Well, technically, we talk about that with the imagination to do stuff. But also the sense of storytelling. I've talked about this in my video about storytelling. If you guys want to check it out. Basically, the social aspect of tabletop RPG, where we meet and gather around and telling stories, we've been doing that for centuries. Like in storytelling back then, we used to do it in a cave, maybe around the campfire. We're telling tall tales. So it's,
imagine cavemen doing D&D.
They kind of do actually, but basically like imagining hunting scenario, not exactly D&D, but hunting scenario, and they use dice as well. There's both dice everywhere.
So like, wait, hold on. So for us, D&D set in a fantasy world is like the past, right?
Probably they're not playing D&D like fantasy stuff, but they're just telling stories while playing games. But there's dice involved, so I don't know. We don't have that's pre-written words.
That makes me think though. For us, fantasy is like medieval stuff. It's past stuff, but is fantasy for cavemen like sci-fi?
Oh my god. Well, I mean, middle age is technically sci-fi for them, so maybe.
It's like in the future, in the far future of 2020.
In the galaxy in the galaxy far away, yes.
Oh my god. Leoric still help me think, but the topic is interesting. Nice. Bagus, welcome. Welcome. Tashkent. Wow. Okay, so.
He'll just say bye. Watch this. Hello, and what?
N.
That's my see?
Hi.
I told you. That's my moderator. So yeah.
I cannot belong. Hello. Nice to meet you, moderator-san.
So where were we again?
I was thinking.
Oh, the sci-fi caveman. Yeah.
Sci-fi caveman. Isn't the storytelling itself get influenced by film?
Yes, I talk about. Okay, I'm going to nerd out again. If
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Okay, so storytelling itself, influenced by some novel. The setting probably influenced by some film, but novel itself, the concept of novel itself, it's a written storytelling, and the concept of film itself is just like opera stuff, storytelling, or performance storytelling. So in a way, it's just modernization of storytelling. Like whenever you read a blog post or a YouTube video maybe, it's just blog posts or articles. It's just written storytelling. And when someone are telling stories in YouTube video, like Mr. Creepypasta, for example, let's just say that it's an modern oral storytelling. And halo Punten, lagi gabut kah? Okay, and performance storytelling is modernized into movie, because movie is basically the concept of movie. It's like a visualization of a story, and we've been doing that with theaters all over the world, all kind of theaters, all kind of theatric, all kind of like dance and stuff. We've been doing that, right? It's just a modernization of that. So technically, the setting can and are influenced by film and novel, but storytelling itself, it's they're part of storytelling basically. Punten GoFood bodoh.
Bentar, punten paket. Then I can get the free snacks.
That's my moderator as well. Punten.
Welcome. So basically, like, you were saying film was affected by novel? So,
it's just a modern storytelling, modern way of storytelling. Yes.
Okay, so let me think. Let me think up of a question here.
Okay,
I definitely did not let you nerd out so that I have actually time to think of a question. Definitely not.
Okay.
I have all the question prepared.
Okay. You have another question prepared. Okay, I believe you.
Yeah. But let me think some. So, how much do you see like from the old RPG influencing modern game design, right? Do you think like the current game design is like making more and more motivation like away, you know?
Yes, obviously. Okay. Obviously, outside of RPG stuff is they still cannot move on from all tabletop RPG. Let's be fair. They're still there. Like all the fantasy RPG stuff is still there.
But the other things like
the other stuff like shooter, platformer, obviously it's more experimental.
How do you play a first-person shooter on tabletop, right?
Yes, exactly. That's one thing that modern game have that you cannot really apply in paper RPG basically.
I see. Anyway, the RPG itself is role-playing game, which is part of the RPG mechanic that influenced the modern game. Which is the part of RPG mechanics that influence the modern game, as you know.
The easier answer.
Okay, go ahead.
The easiest answer is the level up system. Most games have level up system, and you know how it goes. We have level up system before we have video games, so yeah. So yeah, and achievement and killing stuff basically. Dungeon crawling, that's that. Infantry basically. The concept of infantry in video games is starting out as So and weight system, I don't know how most of the player doesn't care about the weight system, but it's there in the game.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. And of course settings and feelings, and of course it's still there.
Doesn't that basically mean like basically all of it except for the action and graphic part?
I guess.
Basically, it is all based on inspired at least by
inspired, yes.
But then again, it just goes to show that the old RPG way is already a good way, and you don't have to fix what doesn't need fixing. Damn, huh? She has so many questions. She's trying to pick up a good one. Yes, exactly. Don't need to pick up the good one. He say accept observation.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Love it
Last time in my stream, I showed the Rasputin's PP. So yeah.
Okay, so.
Okay. So.
What was it again? Which father was in Canadian first modern game? Oh yeah. I'm talking about the role-playing stuff, right? The role-playing stuff. So in all RPG, like D&D, obviously you the role-playing, the role-playing part feels like a role-playing, right? Yeah, you're playing a role. For example, you make a character.
You're an elf,
rogue, right? An elf rogue, for example. Then you're gonna be playing the role of this character, like picking out relevant choices that the character would pick, right? But,
yes, exactly.
What do you think if I say that the role-playing element in modern RPG is like kind of not there?
Yeah, it's kind of not there, but in essence, it's still kind of there. I mean, in tabletop RPG, right? You're playing a character, but that character is also a reflection of yourself, basically. Since if it's so far away from yourself, you cannot properly roleplay it, and you might not enjoy it if it's not your like somewhat innermost desire to play that role, right? So when you let's use Dark Souls or Elden Ring again, or Skyrim, for example, in RPG. Of course, in Call of Duty and stuff, you have a character that you cannot really. It's basically a movie at that point. But where you can create your but where you can create your own character, you're basically putting a bit of yourself into that character, right?
Even though the game will determine the story that this character will go to, and the choices are most of the time very, very limited. Like for example, like Fallout 4.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh no. Worst example. Fallout 4 still give you a little tiny bit of freedom. Fallout 3 is the real the Fallout where the DM is railroading you towards everything.
Yeah, railroading you to the water treatment. But
roll initiative. The DM be like, roll initiative. Actually, never mind. You got killed.
But yeah, in a way that for gameplay purpose, you still have your own fantasy in the gameplay. Like, you want to be a rogue, you want to use a light weapon, for example, like bow and arrow guy. Even when you're playing like purely for the mechanics, right? You're putting some of yourself, some of your preference in your build, and that's still the RPG way. You put yourself in the build and play the one that you like, that the playstyle that you like. So that's in a way is still there. It's not going anywhere.
So in a way that you are playing a role of someone who is using bow and arrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're still putting yourself in it in a way.
In a sense, there is something. Okay. What else? Let me check the chat. Maybe they have questions.
Yes.
Wait, level up system, but Call of Duty doesn't need any.
I only play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and they do have level up system in their multiplayer. Back in the day, I don't know what they do now, but basically rank system where you unlock stuff as you level up. Well, it's I guess it's locked behind paywall now, but back in the Modern Warfare 1, you have to unlock stuff by ranking up. So that's in a way. Let's be fair. That's a level system. Let's not kid ourselves.
So, do you think like the modern are like in modern video games, they need to add more to this like RP aspect of the RPG? Because for right now, from what I see, right, this is also a little bit peeve of mine, especially in mobile gaming.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Just because a game has stats like strength, intelligence, and agility doesn't mean it's an RPG. That doesn't mean
Oh
you call it an
yeah,
RPG if you're not actually like making a role and playing as it.
yeah. That's true. That's sad.
Because
But
but then again, if you're taking the role playing literally, every game is a role playing. Is an RPG because you're playing a role of a character in the game.
well, technically yes.
Uh,
You, but the best way to roleplay is the ones in your mind that you have in your mind, right? That's why MMORPG is very popular
mm,
back then.
mm.
You make the story
MMORPG.
with your friends,
Mm-hmm.
with an actual people, and then let's say you wipe over and over with against a boss, and then you overcame it. That's your story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the best RPG is where you're given a blank slate, like a nobody,
Mm.
like Dark Souls, for example,
Mm-hmm.
where you're no one basically,
No one.
and then you can fill out the blank yourself.
Mm.
Oh, my character is this.
Mm.
Oh, he's a rogue and he used blah blah blah.
Mm.
And then that's the basic of it, right? My character is a rogue and he's a magician and he will use assets of war and stuff. But
Mm.
that's the basic stuff. But you can collaborate more by giving your character, your blank character, a backstory.
Mm.
That's what I did anyway.
So it all plays in your mind.
so,
That's something like I also did in my Fallout 4. It's for my Fallout 4 character, like because I already know how the whole game is going, right? So because it's not like you can choose your own background or anything. You will always be this parent that is looking for your son and all that. So yeah. I was also playing like this naive mother that somehow become overpowered. Like she's like, oh, I am not going to I'm all racist and all this and all that, and then she finds out that her son is the leader of the bad guys, and then she end up because after she find that out, right, she just leave the main quest. She doesn't want to she doesn't want to go against her son, even though her son is making people suffer and stuff.
Yeah, I love it. So that's
my plan is to like eventually she gonna have to confront her son
eventually.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And then end up killing her own son, and then from there she'll become the next villain.
Oh yes, I love it.
Sorry that it doesn't have any. Then what about the number, Mason? What did I
What
mean,
about the number, Mason? What did they mean?
I still have level up system, but in different place.
Yes, you don't have to put every single system in one basket.
Mm-hmm. Just start starting mode 1. Guys, hello. Single player COD is more like interactive film rather than pure RPG. I don't think it even counts as an RPG.
Well, it's role play. It's not role play technically. You're playing a role, but I mean,
you're playing a role.
I mean, let's be fair. It's not RPGs.
I mean, like if you're
unless you're talking rocket-propelled grenade, then yeah.
Well, I guess if we are talking about as long as you're playing a role in a game, then it is an RPG. The only game that is not an RPG is a puzzle game. And even then,
you can put in your own story.
Yeah, even in modern puzzle games, you're still given like a character, and then there's a story. Why are you doing this puzzle, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I guess our RPG.
So trusted you.
So trusted you. No.
I thought I could too. Why?
So yeah, I guess like RPG as a genre literally means like we have a Souls-like game, right? Souls-like, roguelike, some kind of stuff. RPG as a genre is probably like tabletop RPG-like, right? With the stats, with the adventure and the stuff. So that's probably RPG as a genre. I think maybe I don't know. I'm not the game developer here.
Well, if you're talking like the RPG as the term, yeah, then it's basically any game that has stats. It's an RPG.
Yeah.
Even including all those quote unquote RPG games on Google Play that plays nothing like your actual RPG. It's basically waifu collecting, and they're calling it an RPG.
Yeah, it's well, it's like the loosest term of RPG.
Loosest term, yeah. What do you think about Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers? I never heard of that one. What do you think?
I only know the original one. I don't know
Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers. Which one is this?
Which one's that? Is that the original one? Still?
Oh, yeah, it is the original one. You know the one with the red.
It made me cry. For fuck's sake.
Honestly, I don't really know about that game. I only ever played on my PS1, but back then I was so dumb. I had no idea how to save games.
Oh my god!
I didn't know English, right? So I just started the game, see how pretty it is, right? And then and then they understood none of the dialogues and never saved in it. So every time I play the game, I just restarted and enjoy it somehow.
But I love Chrono Cross. It's very dear to my heart. I don't know the Radical Dreamer edition though. I only know the original one.
I remember this RPG that I love so much. Oh, what is it?
Sandlink. Yeah,
Sandlink,
I'm done.
yeah.
So yeah, Shadana, Sandlink. Yeah.
Sandlink. Okay. Under in RPG, what's called? Not the Witch South. Witch South's a different game. Witch Spring.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think that's a good RPG because like it's not just you have stats and you can make builds, but here you also make actually important decisions. I think that's what
makes it a good RPG.
Yeah.
You're immersed in the game.
Yeah. It lets you have different choices, and they're actually important, not just choose who died between these two people. That doesn't really change the story much.
That's true.
Yeah. Another good one I'm thinking about RPG is Fallout 1 that I recently finished. Like, it doesn't really let you do I think it doesn't really let you pick much decision. Like, the quests only have one outcomes, but then again you can also there are quests that makes you do evil things. And also it doesn't give you, like, how RPG like most modern RPG, the moment you obtain a quest, then you'll have this marker on your map. So you're basically especially with Bethesda RPG. Basically, you're not actually exploring the world. You're exploring, going from one icon to another. But in like Fallout 1, for example, right? Well, I guess this also applies to like what's called old RPG, tabletop RPG, right?
Yeah.
When you receive a quest, it's not like you get any quest marker. Oh, you have to go here. No, you're just given like direction for right. There is a cave in the forest, and then you're gonna have to
forget to take notes. Then can I swear in this channel?
Go ahead. I think. Wait,
yeah. Well,
try not to.
Try not to. Okay, if you're lost if you lost your notes and you're lost in the forest, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's I like that way.
It's kind of like an element of tabletop RPG that got adapted by modern video game, but eventually, slowly but surely, it vanished because for convenience. Because It's not like it's not like everyone wants to,
Oh yeah,
wants
that's
to
true.
remember what this specific NCC said where to go. But then again,
But it's making a comeback though.
Yeah.
It's making a comeback in Elden Ring. Yeah, exactly.
Elden
I was about to
Ring,
say
Breath of the
Elden Ring
Wild.
did it well. That's what it makes it good. It's like a good tabletop RPG, basically.
Like there's no marker. What, you forgot what this NPC said? Well, good freaking luck.
Good freaking luck, yes.
But they're not that evil. You can go talk to that NPC again, and they'll tell you where to go again.
Yeah.
That's a good design for it, though. If you want.
And the good part is it's the numbers, because it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business, and when they prove that this kind of old school stuff that doesn't convenience the player too much to give them a challenge to actually challenge the player, it worked. When the formula works well financially, obviously some of them will try to copy it, right? So I think it's making a comeback for good this time.
Yeah, and I like it. Like
I like it.
In our most modern RPG, right? Especially like, for example, like let's say in Skyrim, you open the map. It's freaking cloudy. The map is very, very cloudy. You can barely see anything, but it will show you very clearly these icons. Like, oh, there's a cave here that I never even actually go there. But somehow I already know it's there, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But in Elden Ring, for example, there's no marker. You open the map, and there are like these weird drawings on the map. Like, oh, I want to check that out.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say. Basically, like when an icon pops out, it feels like the game is telling you go here. But if I decide to go there myself, well, I chose to go there myself. Basically, it's just a different kind of icon, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
I mean, both system works.
My University RPG, the most difficult game design that would be made. Well, yeah.
I guess.
Like, for like Call of Duty, for example, right? It just linear stage. You go one action pieces to another, right? Basically, just boom boom.
Boom boom.
Boom
Yeah.
boom movie.
I guess.
So, yeah, but in RPG, if you really want to make like RPG, they let you choose things. That's the hard part. Because
that's the hard part.
The game
you basically work twice for that, right? As a game developer.
Yeah, you have to make the game able to adapt to player's choice.
Hold on, anjir, Excelnya pedes. Bentar.
Okay. Zenonia Inosia. Zenonia Inosia.
I don't know about that.
Zenonia, they're Android RPG. They're legit RPG because legit mobile RPG. And especially Zenonia, I think it released back then when Android was starting to boom. So there was still no in-app purchases and all that crap. So it was still a legit one. You must have come across.
I'll go check them out.
It does not have it. The most influential RPG genre is of course Ultima series. I think I heard that. Ultima series.
Ultima is the old.
Oh, this one.
It's an old, yeah.
I think there's an online game of this Ultima. I think there was like
Ultima Online, yes. I've played them, in fact.
I heard there was like some bug or exploit or something that you could do, that or spell that when this spell says it kills everyone except the caster, and it did just that.
Yeah, well, technically not everyone, but yes, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kills the NPC, it kills the bad guys. Now you're alone in the world. Congratulations. What did you expect? Mango, hello. Can we get an ara from Leoric? Okay, Leoric, go ahead.
Hold on, let me prepare myself mentally.
Ooh.
Wait, I need to pee. Just hold on. Iklan dulu.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me. Okay, give me a second. I'll be back.
Okay. 1 second has passed. Okay, let me check the chat while he's gone. Hello, Stella. Base will optimize growing into a lot of modern RPG. Optimize the base or RPG game design even for modern RPG. Damn, that thing must be really old then. What RPG? Not to go there, yeah, I remember that. The RPG. Where is the quest log, please? There are peeps complaining about quests in Elden Ring like, oh, they're not telling me where to go. The game isn't spoon-feeding me the story 110. Thoughts on this? Okay, we're gonna discuss that. Take me to another world. Jackson, huh? Anyway, it's more interesting. You could read it into a paper and publish it. I will agree for it. Example, Gran Turismo that has stats for its car. Oh! So, is it an RPG? Welcome back.
Okay.
If Elden Ring with my Ubisoft, there will be icon quest everywhere.
And I'm back.
Okay. Give us the Ara.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, fun. Fun. Okay. Hold on. I ran.
Oh my.
Okay, there you go. Weirdos.
Okay, so here's the question. There are peeps complaining about the quest in Elden Ring like, oh, they're not telling me where to go. The game isn't spoon-feeding me the story 1 out of 10. What do you think about that?
They can shove themselves up theirs. I don't know. I have to censor the hell out of that. Yeah.
Well, I guess these people are, they're too used to the icons. But then again, here's an excellent argument though. So you're playing Elden Ring, right? You have these quests that is not listed. There is no quest log. There is no map icon. There is nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you remember it now, but then for some reason you cannot play the game anymore for like 1 month, 2 months. But then you come back to the game. But now, because there is no way to no reminder whatsoever in the game, you forgot about all the quests. What are you gonna do?
So basically, this is a very common. It's a very common problem in all tabletop RPG, which is why I like Elden Ring so much. It reminds me of tabletop RPG. So basically, you write things down. You write things down.
You actually have to take a pen and paper and write all those stuff that were said in the game.
Or open up a Word document, or that works. But yes, you write things down. That's why I love Elden Ring so much. It reminds me of tabletop RPG so much.
Well, I guess that also kind of increased the immersion, huh? Because no, you're not just playing this character. You are this character, and when
you are the character.
And when you receive an information from someone, you can choose. You can choose whether to try to remember it with your puny, tiny, fragile human brain, or you can actually be a good person and take a paper and a pen and write it down.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
If I don't link with my Ubisoft, there will be icon quest everywhere. Oh yeah, there's actually what is
a
called?
Picture, like a meme out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tarnished vision, it says. And then it says there's also in-game shop. You can buy runes. What the hell? And that's why the avatar term is came from Ultima. Oh, so that's why it's called avatar.
Ah, I see. That's new to me. Yeah.
What does avatar mean anyway?
Manifestation of something, physical manifestation of something. So, an avatar, digital avatar means it's a digital manifestation of you, basically.
I always thought avatar is like someone who can who master a lot of things because avatar,
That's
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 Aang.
that's
Like,
Aang.
so avatar is someone who control a lot of things. And then there are people start calling game avatar. I was like, what? Such a shock. Brian, I miss how other games actually had a feeling of exploration. One day I should just go to the next map marker. Exactly, we were talking about it too. And that's why, like in Brave of the Wild and Elden Ring, it's good that they're making a comeback where there is no freaking map marker. I would argue though, actually, like, not giving player map marker is good and all, but I think it would also be nice if they include like quest log, so the game write things down for you.
Yeah, I mean that is something that can be.
I mean, sure, yeah, it takes out the thing about you have to write down your own things, right? Sure, and it's basically like a convenient, but why not, right? It's better than marker.
Well,
And people
yeah.
are lazy these days. Come on.
I kind of like the log idea because it can give you a bit of lore
Right,
as well. But I like the idea of log, but I like it off by default, preferably. But I'm not against log, quest log.
And maybe the log also doesn't just like write down.
Go here, yeah.
It can also like write down like Easter egg or something. Like,
or you can do it like excuse me, sorry, go ahead.
You did, maybe for example, you did something stupid and the quest log actually write it down, right?
Yeah, I guess the best kind of quest log is like in Guild Wars 2 you have this thing. Every story chapter is basically told you what you did, not what you need to do, but what you did.
So then you're reminded to what you did.
Yeah.
So for example, if
exactly.
you NPC tell you I need someone to go to this cave, then the log actually says
someone told me to.
told me to go to this cave.
Yeah.
And maybe like when you try out, see if the fire hurts you, you stand on the fire and get damage, and then there's actually a log update and it says not to self, don't stand on fire.
Exactly. That sounds like a good game idea. Actually.
Right? It's funny. Howdy, Ethel. Howdy, Brian. I love you too. Exactly, your maidenness.
Oh god.
From software of telling that it doesn't tell you anything, it just gives hints and some shady dialogues, and it's up to you to learn to the story yourself. I guess the way to go with no quest marker and all, it kind of works out with FromSoft games, because let's say you play Elden Ring for like 3 months straight, right? And then you left it, and then you come back later. Basically, the story is so fake that you probably know not much more when you were playing it than not when you come back.
Yeah.
You're still confused as hell.
Yeah, but I like that kind of storytelling from software storytelling. Let's call it from software storytelling. It's their thing, right? From software storytelling, because usually in other games you're the center of the event, right? Of the big event, of the world-changing event. You're the center of it. But in from software games, you're at the aftermath of it. So you're like archaeology, like digging up the past. Like, oh, this is what happened in the past. Artorias goes into the abyss and do stuff, blah blah blah. Yeah, and you're like an archaeologist trying to learn something.
So basically, like you're discovering. There is something to discover.
Yeah.
There is something to learn instead of like it's being the.
Instead of
you're
you
going
being there.
through it there.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of like this stuff. It's of course that's not the definitive way of storytelling. Of course, that's just their style, but I like it.
Anyway, a bit interesting. What do you think about the quote of Lord Gaben? The people who talk about metaverse doesn't understand MMORPG. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they.
Oh.
Well, it's a good foundation for an MMORPG, but that's not a good idea. That's not an MMO.
Honestly, I kind of find it cringy that these people heard the term metaverse, right? A virtual space where you can meet people online with your avatar, and they're acting like this is like a new thing. This is like breakthrough in technology, and then we are already like
we're like, that's VR chat. That's VR chat. That's VR chat. That's
just VR chat. They just MMORPG. What are you talking about? Why are you so hype over this thing?
Yeah, we're just like, okay.
Yeah, cool. And then they actually like they will also preview, I think, like videos of this metaverse, and they look worse than VR chat. Like, what the hell?
Oh, what the hell? Why are you even here, basically?
Why are you even here? It's basically just for them to somehow make money off something like VR chat.
Yeah, something like that.
It's interesting. The docu series about game industry on Netflix called High Score. On episode 3, they're telling a lot about RPG things, and of course, in psych for someone like RPG game design. High Score Netflix.
Okay, I'll bookmark that.
What is this? Oh, it's documentary. It's not like a story. It's documentary.
I see. From his Father Gascoigne story. Yes, Chocobo, you're right. Father Gascoigne story is like the best. Anyway,
Father Gascoigne. I haven't played that one.
Okay. Let's not spoiler. Let's not too much spoiler. But it's a good storytelling. It's a good way of storytelling. Yeah, I love it so much. You can miss it. You can miss 90% of the story, but if you understand the story, you can use it in the boss fight, basically. Basically, it rewards you of the lore knowledge. It rewards your lore knowledge with actual boss mechanic.
That also happens in Elden Ring. Those imps, the stone imps thing in Catacombs. Apparently they're powered by crystal. So if you hit them enough with crystal dart, they go error.
Yeah, and then all the corrupt what's it undead corrupted stuff, you can heal them to damage them, and then it's like, oh, so good.
It's actually that thing actually sold by one of the merchants. It says like you can heal these and enemies, and it'll actually hurt them.
Yeah. I really love From Software's RPG design. It's not the definitive one, but it's the best for now. It's the best for now. It's good. It's the best so far, for me at least.
House, there's little girl there, and she'll tell you that her mom went outside to look for her father, and that her mom has a... I heard of this. I heard of this. And then if you give the broods to her, she'll be gone. Right? And then later in the game, when you kill a big pig, you find her broods from the pig. Oh my god. She got eaten.
It goes deeper, yes.
If I can see that woman on the left. Good way to start Father Gascoigne when it's saying cute his wife. The story are mostly like yabai.
Yeah, but again, it's again, it's you're only there for the aftermath of the story.
So that actually, I guess that actually makes it even sadder because this happened. There's nothing you can do.
Exactly.
It already happened.
Yes.
It feels good to know, but knowing also makes you feel not good.
Yeah, it's sad.
Spoiler. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah,
Spoiler.
it's already 1 hour. Do you have anything else to say?
Oh, it's already an hour. Uh, of course, I'm working on tabletop build for Holo Council because I did the Hololive EN D&D build basically, right? How to play as the Hololive EN characters, inspired characters, and then I don't think anything out of it, and then I kind of forgot that series. I finished the Holo EN, and then I move on with other stuff, and then suddenly people are asking when are you going to do Holo Council? I was like, wait, you know about that stuff? So yeah, it's gonna be back. So if you like tabletop games, look forward to it. If you like history, just join my stream.
Okay. Link in the description, guys.
Link in the description.
Yes. Okay then. Thank you. Thank you, Leoric, for joining the discussion tonight. And thank you everyone for watching. This has been Chamomile and Leoric. I'm gonna do the credits now. Oh yeah, I should show you here. There you go.
What?
Thank you again for Green Red Name and Duho for supporting me on Patreon. And Sim Jim Mom for supporting me on FANBOX. And hold on, the credits rolling credits thing. Andy Sinimas Bas Green Red Hamdem Gopayman Brian Hachimon Justin Nelson Web Stress Duho Glowing Namson Atako Keliat Place Neon Sentamari Nataking Maru Sim Satsi Marata H and Sam. And everyone is supporting me, so remember, thank you so much. For another have a nice day, have a nice day, take care.
That's one person over there, just so you know.
1% what?
No, I'm just kidding. It's just like the name of one person that, and it's that long. I'm just kidding.
No, there's not just one person in there. Send me to the shadow realm. Thank you for the insight. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you. Bye bye.